Hello there, I'm Kios, the Ronin beatmaker, and welcome to Lounge Ronin, all things, everything. And before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and ring that notification bell. And on this episode, we're going to discuss the Kaaba Black Stone, a holy stone from outer space. Without further ado, let us get into it. Okay, now this article was written April 3rd, 2020 by Brian Hill. The Kaaba Black Stone, a holy stone from outer space? Pray tell, pray tell. All right, here we go. Every day, 5 times a day, Muslims across the world face the holy site of Mecca and pray. Mecca is believed to be the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad, but when followers visit the site, it is not actually Mecca they are facing, but a building called the Kaaba. The Kaaba is a mosque, and one corner of this sacred building is a cornerstone known as the Black Stone. Its history is shrouded in mystery, and there is much speculation over what the stone might be. Many Muslims believe the stone is in fact a meteorite possessing supernatural powers. The Hajj pilgrimage ritual. Millions of Muslims travel to Mecca, Saudi Arabia, every year in a single day. Mecca is capable of attracting over 2 million Muslim followers for the annual Hajj pilgrimage, considered one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Here we have an image of Muslims praying around the Kaaba in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. There, they gather around the Kaaba, often written simply as Kaaba, a cubic-shaped building at the center of Islam's most sacred mosque, Al-Masjid al-Haram. During the ritual of the Hajj, pilgrims must walk around the Kaaba 7 times in a counterclockwise direction, a ceremonial practice that has been going on for 14 centuries. The Kaaba measures 50 feet, 50 feet high, 35 feet wide, and 40 feet long. It is covered with a black silk cloth known as the kiswa and decorated with gold embroidered calligraphy. On the southeast side of the building is a gold door. Inside, the floor is made of marble and limestone and 3 pillars. The Kaaba Black Stone. The Kaaba is built around a sacred black stone, which is tucked away in the eastern corner about 5 feet off the ground. Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad once kissed the stone during their mandatory once in a lifetime at least trip to Kaaba. They try to kiss the black stone if possible. If they are unable to, they simply point to it every time they pass on the 7-circle journey around the Kaaba. Each time pilgrims pass the black stone, they recite a prayer from the Quran. In the name of God, and the God is supreme. Non-Muslims are strictly forbidden from touching it, and most of the year The kebab is covered in black cloth. Here we have an image of the kebab. The curse of the kebab black stone's color. The stone is often described as fragmented dark rock somewhere around 2 feet in length. Its surface is blackish in color, but there is a speculation that this is due to how much it has been touched, along with the oils with which it is anointed. According to Muslim tradition, the stone was originally white, but turned black from being in a world where it absorbed humanity's sins. First ascended in Western literature in the 19th century, Swiss traveler Johann Ludwig Brachard visited Mecca in 1814 and provided a detailed description of the black stone in his 1829 book, The Travels in Arabia. Quote, "It is an irregular oval, about 7 inches in diameter, with an undulated surface composed of about a dozen smaller stones of different sizes and shapes, well joined together with a small quantity of cement and perfectly well smoothed. It looks as if the whole had been broken into as many pieces by a violent blow and then united again." End quote. History of the Kebab Black Stone. Muslims believe that Allah ordered the kebab to be constructed. The story goes that Abraham built the mosque with his oldest son, Ishmael, in the likeness of Allah's home in heaven. Purportedly the oldest mosque on earth, it is believed to have been originally used by pagans before Islam came into existence. According to Islamic tradition, the stone was set intact into the kebab's wall by the Islamic prophet Muhammad in the year 605 AD. Muslims also believe that the kebab stone was once part of the stones of heaven. There are various versions of this story's origin, all similar to one another. When Adam was banished from the Garden of Eden, he was filled with sin. The black stone was given to him to erase his sin and allow him entrance back into heaven. Some instead believe the ancient stone was brought from a nearby mountain by the archangel Gabriel. Over the passage of time, the stone has undergone significant damage. During the Umayyad siege of Mecca in 683 AD, it is said to have been struck and smashed to pieces by a stone fired from a catapult. If you're interested to learn a little bit about them, I did cover them recently by covering the Garamanti civilization and empire. But let's continue. In 930 AD, it was stolen by a small Shiite sect called the Qamarians, who took it back to their base in Hajar, modern-day Bahrain. According to the Ottoman historian Qutb al-Din, the Qamarian leader Abd Tahar al-Qamarti set the black stone up in his own mosque, with the intention of redirecting the Hajjaj away from Mecca. This failed because pilgrims continued to venerate the spot where the black stone had been, so the pieces were later returned. Here we have a drawing of Mecca in 1850 with the kebab stone in the middle. There are even stories about people being killed for trying to make contact with the stone. In the 11th century, a man allegedly attempted to smash it and was killed on the spot, causing only slight damage to the stone. According to Swiss traveler Johann Ludwig Brachard, in 1674, Someone smeared the black stone with excrement so that everyone who kissed it retired with a sullied beard. Sheesh. That's a TikTok prank nowadays. Persians were suspected of being responsible and were the target of curses from other Muslims for centuries afterwards. Yeah, that's one thing I've realized through history is that the those of the Islamic faith, they definitely know how to hold on to a grudge. Today, the stone is still broken up into several pieces, with estimates ranging from 7 to as many as 15 fragments. These are held together by a silver frame, which is fastened to the stone by silver nails. And here we have a photograph of the Kaaba black stone within its frame. Is the Kaaba black stone a meteorite? Since no scientific studies have been allowed on the stone, it is only possible to speculate what it could be. Theories have ranged from the stone being basalt, agate, or obsidian rock to an alien artifact. One theory proposes that the stone is a meteorite worshipped by the pre-Muslim pagan Arabs, who I did cover in my video about the Garamantians if you want to know more about them. According to Anthony Hampton and his team of geologists at Oxford University, part of the fog surrounding this stone is that the stone's caretakers haven't allowed any scientific tests to be performed on the stone, for obvious cultural and religious reasons. Thus, attempts have been made to find other ways to obtain information about it. Local samples of sand taken from a 2-kilometer radius of the stone revealed quantities of iridium, a metal found in meteorites with an abundance much higher than its average abundance in the Earth's crust. Also found were many shattered cones. A rare geological feature only known to form in the bedrock beneath meteorite impact craters or underground nuclear explosions. Now, if you've read the Bhagavad Gita, they talk about nuclear wars going on and people getting radiation poisoning and what have you, but I digress. It's not like they were blasting nuclear bombs on Earth back in the day or Mars, as some Russian scientists were able to deduce that Mars had been hit with artificial nuclear explosions. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Here we have the drawing of the front view of the black stone and the various pieces. However, another study done by Robert S. Dietz and John McCone at the University of Illinois in 1974 concluded that the black stone was probably not a meteorite or supernatural in origin. An anonymous Arab geologist who made the Hajj and examined the stone saw diffusion banding, which points to an agate rock. While today there are no consensus regarding its makeup, the black stone of the Kaaba is probably the most well-known holy rock in the world, and it continues to be the centerpiece of sacred Islamic pilgrimage. And there you have it. The mysterious story of the black Kaaba stone. A little interesting nugget of Islamic history. I'm sure someday we'll learn about the truth of it, the implications of it. I'm sure there's more to it than meets the eye. And I would not be surprised if it was something that was worshipped by, Arabs that were pagans. That seems to be an ongoing theme with a lot of these, major religions. They seem to find their origins in paganism. Something I think people should keep in mind about. You should take time and learn about the origins of the religion that you practice, because you may be surprised at what you uncover. Truly, it gets a little freaky out there. But this was a nice little nugget of history. I really enjoyed it. I think people out there, if you're curious more about it, do some more independent research. I don't know, reach out to any Islamic friends or family members that you may have that may point you in some right directions or provide some more insight onto it. But these holy relics are a fascinating thing. Last episode I discussed the various types of holy grails throughout the world and various cultures and history, and it's very fascinating. These relics, the implications of them, the origins, the mysteries, and at times, what do they tell us about the future? Something to really think about and keep in mind, because I'm telling you, as the veil continues to get lifted, the truth becomes more stranger. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Lounge Ronin. All things, everything. If you've made it this far and you've liked what you've heard, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And until next time, stay positive, stay focused, stay true, and much love.